Hi, hello and welcome everybody. My name is Faye. I work for the AMP team in Hull at the Warren, and today is my very first video. We're bringing you some content online while we're all in quarantine. Today's topic is intro to spoken word. Robbie, roll those titles. Okay, welcome everybody, guys, gals and non-binary pals. Today I'm going to be doing a little intro into what is spoken word. Spoken word is an umbrella term. We use it for lots of different types of free writing, but it's technically speaking, it means poetry intended for performance. So most spoken word has its roots in stuff like oral history, like storytelling or myths and legends. However, it can also contain elements of rap, it can contain dance, theatre. There are no real rules as to how we can display spoken word art. However, the key theme is that it's to be performed aloud at some point. That doesn't mean you can't pre-record it and play it out to an audience. There's loads of ways and means of performing spoken word. So it can come in a variety of styles. So it can involve collaboration, like I said, with music and drama or visual arts. But it tends to refer to issues of social justice. So spoken word is poetry from the streets. It's characterised by improv, by technical writing. So some of the terms that you might remember from school, like alliteration and personification, really come to life in spoken word. You can be really free with your writing because there aren't so many constraints. And use that wordplay to really make a dramatic impact on your audience. So my favourite kind of spoken word tends to be the more dramatic performance style, but you can have comedy spoken word. There are loads of variations. Spoken word can be used to tell your story or the stories of others. It's usually used to raise an injustice, so you might choose to talk about poor social housing or racism or the gender pay gap. There's no real limits. That's what I like so much about spoken word, is that it's a really free form kind of writing. Who's big in the scene? There's loads of British talent at the moment, so I recommend you go and look up a lady called Kate Tempest. She's my personal favourite, but I'm also a big fan of George the Poet. George began rapping at around 15 years old. He's born in North London, and he eventually translated his raps into poetry because he found that he was having a very different impact on his audience, and that's the power of spoken word. So here's a really good example. This is Jody. She's been working with a number of teams in the Warren to produce spoken word for a couple of years now. And here is just a short clip of some work that she's done. Have a gander.
16 and sinking, in a world that's got no feeling. She's out here writing words but doesn't know the meaning or power. All the promises of sun have been showers, and the notebook paper between her fingers tear like wet paper towels. She cried for a drought. It's drowning her from the inside out, till they showed her how to swim. Made sense of the waves that kept on pushing in, and threw out a rubber ring, in case she ever thought her arms and legs were about to give in. The purpose of a poet, brought to life through encouragement, because the words will always be there, not always the opportunity to showcase them. And those scribbles turned to scripts that helped her write the future that she wanted to live in. Because she never discovered self-belief till she walked into that building, promoting ambition through listening and healing. And those sessions turned to stages, their head in her hands to a mic stand, and for the first time in a while she felt like she had something important to say. That without crutches like this, how can we support the prime of today? Youth Employment Initiative, creating encounters that are transformative. The country's newest thoughts are formative, and you don't have to succumb in order to live, because you can achieve. There are scarves of hope you can pull from your sleeve. We can birth new beginnings for those who thought they'd hit the finish line. That to be born with it is just a lie, to find some other way to waste your time. She now understands that there's more to life than skimming coins across the sea, and a wishing well isn't just a piggy bank of unobtainable dreams.
Awesome. I love Jodie's work. I think she's really dramatic and she really is able to translate an experience to make it relatable to others. And therein lies the other power of spoken word, is being able to tell your story and share that with someone else who might be going through something similar in a form that's easy to access and just allows you to be creative and be yourself. So the key thing to spoken word is that you talk about something you're passionate about, and there's no real rules as to what that has to be. The best bit for me is that you don't need a big fancy studio or loads of good stationery or a computer or writing kit. You can just lay a track down using the voice recorder on your phone, for example. So spoken word just requires two things. It's you and your voice. That's why we like it. It's easy to launch yourself into, and you get to hear through spoken word lots of unusual and quite heartbreaking and sometimes really funny stories from communities and people that maybe don't reach the spotlight in other forms or feel like traditional poetry isn't for them. Spoken word is where it's at. So why this matters? For me, spoken word is a hugely important art form for providing a creative outlet to process what's going on in your life, what's going on around the world. For example, at the moment, we're in a quarantine. This could be a really interesting time to write some spoken word about what it's like to be isolated, the things that you took for granted. There's no real rhyme or reason to it. You can use rhyme, you can use reason. There's no rules, and that's the real power of spoken word. So it's a great tool to promote positive mental health. You use it to process the things that are going on. You can use it just to fill your time and stay distracted from the news and social media. It's endless. So in the next few weeks, I will be producing some activities, interactive videos and workshops that we can do together to get us started on our spoken word journey. It will include some writing prompts, some games to play. But if there's anything you'd like to do or to cover, do get in touch. You can contact me by email, by phone, or we even have a Discord now so that people who join into the spoken word stuff can share their work between each other, get some feedback and collaborate. It's a great piece of work, so please do get in touch. Stay safe, clean hands, open hearts.